Hello, people from Toronto and all over Canada. My name is Fred.
I'm Stephanie Hansi.
Thank you for stopping by. We want to wish you all happy Mother's Day.
Welcome, Fred and Stephanie, to Fetch Chinoise. Our universe is all about connecting the diaspora stories here in Canada with Asia, and a lot of this, the family stories that go back and forth for generations like ours. And so we're really happy to have you with us today to just chat about what you've been recently up to. Because you were in Canada and you were in Toronto and Vancouver recently. So just want to say hi first.
Hello.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
us.
thank you for having us.
Thank you for being with us. So you were in Toronto and Vancouver for Angels Within Us, which you launched as a foundation in Hong Kong. Can you tell us more about what led you to bring the concert to Toronto and Vancouver?
Yes, right after our Hong Kong concert, actually, I think it was the night after, we were sitting down, just having a few drinks and just talking about what we should do next to ride off the momentum of the Hong Kong concert. And then we were like, because myself, I was born and raised in Vancouver, and our executive producer of this concert, his name is Fred as well, Fred Cheng. He's from Vancouver as well. So we were just like looking at each other. We're like, hey, let's go, let's bring this to Canada. And then it was just like a no brainer for us.
Yeah, it's more like a campaign rather than a foundation. We started the Hong Kong concert as kind of like a one-off thing, but then we realized that it probably has potential of like reaching out to families in the States and Canada as well. And obviously, Fred is more familiar with Canada, so that's how we started. And then last year we went to a conference in the States as well, so we met a lot of people, mainly from the States, but also some from Canada as well. So they kept us connected with the communities over there. And so yeah, so we're like we this is what we're good at, like entertainment and music. So we just want to use that as a way of connecting with different families all over the world.
And there's a Angelman clinic in Vancouver, BC. So there's a pretty big community over there in Vancouver as well.
Mm-hmm. So I guess like since your son, who's adorable by the way,
Thank you.
he's such a cute version of the
He
two of
is.
you.
He is. Thank you.
I guess he's like your inspiration because ever since being diagnosed with the Angelman syndrome, what kind of like I feel like it's unlocked almost like a superpower, a super love within the both of you. And can you tell us a bit about him, like and how he inspires you?
Wow, I mean, he's a fighter in his own way. Like he obviously is going through different stages in terms of like kids with his age. He has therapy almost every day, physical therapy, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and some of these are not easy. Like it's like asking you to go to the gym without knowing the results because he doesn't really understand why he has to do all these therapies, but he still pushes through. He's growing every day. Now he kind of like remembers the way to to school and like the physical therapy that he's like most against about. And he's just laughing through all of these, like he cries during lessons, but then after that, when he's done, he's just like his own giggly self again. And that really gives us a lot of joy.
Yeah, and I remember when he first got diagnosed, we were very lost and we were very, very, very sad. And so we understand if there are new parents going through the same thing. So that's what really inspired us to really kick this off and just to spread the word, let people know who are going through the same things that they are not alone, because we went through it too. So that's why we want to reach out to everyone that not just have Angelman syndrome or just other rare diseases as well.
So she's going to physio and occupational health, like all these appointments, which obviously turns your life schedule
Yeah.
upside down
Yeah.
and brings new meaning. So what is like the prognosis like now with so many families being so supportive of each other in the network, and like what is the newest research and what is like the future look like for him?
The newest research is now there is a therapy going into phase 3 for clinical trials.
It's not therapy, it's a medicine. So there are currently no meds for Angelman syndrome yet,
Mm-hmm.
but they're doing a lot of research, and some of these medicine is going into different phases. Like simply put, there's research and development stage, and then they do it on animals, phase one, and then phase two on kids or like on humans, and then now it's going into phase three, and then after phase three there will need to be a FDA approval until that kind of medicine can come out. Obviously it's invasive, but it's something that we will continue to look at, and we'll try to attend those conferences, science conferences, every year or whenever there's a new meeting, just to keep ourselves updated.
Mm-hmm. Does it mean that he will have, like, in terms of like speech and like all those other different symptoms, I guess, or like, for children with Angelman syndrome, is there a range, or do most children have the same sort of like path, like in
Yeah.
terms of like their treatment? Tell us a bit more.
Well, because it's still in development stage for the medicine, we don't really like they don't really disclose that information yet. They
Mhm.
can just say that it's developing. But in for all the kids and adults with Angelman syndrome currently, they can't really speak. Like most of them can say maybe a few words or babble a little, but no, still nonverbal.
Mm. I mean, that's really obviously very tough as parents to go through, but as we were very inspired by to see you in Canada, to spread that awareness and love, and we saw how active you were in Hong Kong. I think that shows so much courage and like openness and vulnerability. It's quite
Mhm.
inspiring. I mean, I know you aren't the only ones, especially in Hong Kong entertainment. We interviewed Margaret Chung 2 years ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and we actually, my friends, their son was born with different issues, but when he was in the womb, they were actually told that like your son's not even going to make it at all, and that
Mhm.
you're going to have a stillbirth. But actually, by faith, they carried through the pregnancy, and actually he's quite healthy. It's just that he cannot walk. So there's a lot of like amazing parents like you guys. So I wanted to ask, like, you've both spent years in the entertainment industry, which is grueling. We can tell, singers and actors,
Oh
and
yeah.
as North American born too. I think that it's like a bit of like a shock sometimes in Asia. How did those experiences, you think, prepare you for this challenge, or maybe it didn't? Or can you share what has prepared you in stepping into this role? Like, you have multiple roles now. You're a parent, you're a parent of a special needs child, but also like you're advocates. And so tell us more about that.
Well, like the reason how we decided to spread the message about Angelman, first of all, we knew that we couldn't hide that he had this genetic disorder. But at the same time, I feel like both of us been through a lot in terms of, publicity. We had our highs and lows, and we kind of knew what to expect when we disclosed this information about our son. So putting that step forward wasn't quite as hard as we thought it would, and we just knew we had to like put ourselves in the correct mindset before we told anyone. So we waited like half a year just to mentally prepare ourselves, but we knew that what we had in the industry, the people that we could reach to, would really help in moving Angelman syndrome forward in terms of how people understand rare diseases. So that kind of passion was way more than what we were afraid of.
Mm.
Yeah.
I guess the benefits outweighed the risk of us having negative feedback or just anything like that. But everything's been really positive so far, and we're glad we did it. If you ask us if anything prepared us for this role, nothing can prepare you for the role of being parents of a child that has a disability. But we go through it each day with a positive outlook and
Mhm.
just hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's still, after we told the public about Asher, there's still like very few comments who were like, oh, you guys deserved it, all that kind of stuff. But nothing could really break us because we feel like the worst that could happen have happened. Every parent wants their kids to be healthy. So we were just moving towards the right direction. And when we had that mindset, like nothing could really break us as parents. Yeah.
Hmm. Well, first of all, like who would say something like that? Like, who deserve it? Like,
Yeah.
mean
No, it's just I
Uh,
mean,
girls
I,
out there.
I guess it's I guess it's also like we've been in the public eye for quite a while, so we kind of mentally prepared ourselves
yeah.
for, different point of views.
Well, I love what you said though, because it's like you have been through highs and lows. Even here in Canada, for like a CBC like myself who doesn't really read a lot of Chinese, like I understand what you guys have been through and how
Hmm.
ruthless the tabloids can be. So it's almost
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
worst of it was already behind you, and in fact, you
Yeah.
turned it upside down and be like, well, in fact, you're gonna use this as a method to like outreach to more people for awareness
Yeah.
and spreading love and being open about it, and being open about it almost like changes the path of the story, versus if you don't share about it,
Yeah.
less people can benefit the good of you, all the things you're doing now. So
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
we also felt like we had to open up because, in a very traditional Asian community or family, back in the days, it would be probably normal for people to hide their kids with special needs.
mhm.
But the way we see Asher is that, yes, he has disabilities, but then he's so wonderful in his own way, which we continue to share over our social platforms. He might not be able to walk, but he loves like banging on the piano. He loves like all those little things. He loves like bubbles. He loves getting spinned around. He loves playing with water. And like they're just as lovable as anyone else. It's just that they are different from, I guess, neurotypical people.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
because of Asher, a lot of people in Hong Kong knows what is Angelman syndrome now.
Hmm.
So yeah, he did a great job.
Yeah, that's great. A lot of people in the world who have various disabilities or issues, like they become really brilliant, right? And so,
Yeah.
look at Stevie Wonder. I mean, with your both
Yeah.
your musical genes, Asher has different things that he's
Totally.
He is
have.
very musical, actually.
Yeah, he loves music
He
so
loves
much. I think he's just communicating in a way that perhaps we don't fully understand yet because he doesn't speak, but he's definitely communicating in his own way, which we'll continue to try to explore with him.
Yeah, we're exploring sign language with him now, so I'm learning it with him. so
Yeah.
yeah, we're discovering new ways to communicate with him.
Wow, that's a very deep and wide world that both of you are evolving into. So the silver lining is that if I feel like, there's so much evolution in the both of you, just in the way
Yeah,
that you're describing
definitely.
it. And how do you support one another? Like being a parent myself of a 1.5 and a 4.5 year old,
Oh,
um, like,
congrats.
thank you. And my 1.5 year old just had surgery too, because he was born
Oh,
with a cleft in his mouth. So
Hmm.
like
okay.
in a different way, I
Hmm.
understand that worry.
Mhm.
um how do you support one another? Like your career is already so demanding and in the spot
Hmm.
in the public eye, and then you have this grueling schedule that you want to support your son with. Like, what do you do for
Hmm.
each other to show your support?
I mean, it's honestly really tough I mean, since we had Asher, our focus has definitely been on Asher mostly.
Mhm.
But I think it's good that we have like as singers or actors or hosts or whatever, we have a really flexible schedule. So we try to fill in for each other's schedules. I think we're grateful that we're not working 9 to 5 because otherwise we won't be able to spend time with them. But given that flexibility, we just try to fill each other out, I guess.
Yeah, mostly after he goes to sleep, we have like some time to ourselves. We watch TV, maybe open bottle of wine and
Or
just
two.
yeah, and just relax. And that's how we support each other.
Yeah, I mean, we went to karaoke 2 weeks ago. That was quite
Yeah,
fun.
we had like a date night, and then we're like, hey, let's go sing because
Yeah.
we love singing. So
Yeah.
we
Oh,
didn't have
really?
night out in a while, right?
Yeah.
Oh, that must be fun when you have two parents who, are singers already, and then they go karaoke.
We fight over the mic though.
Yeah.
And then how about for Stephanie? Like, Mother's Day is coming up. What does
Mm.
Mother's Day mean to you now compared to before? Like, is it a little bit different?
Yeah, I mean, every year is really different. Last year, I remember I was just really grateful that Asher turned me into someone that I wasn't before. I mean, before having Asher, I was just like, I was basically a baby, I like to be babied by my mom and my parents. And then having Asher made me realize I could do so much more. This year is more about You know, people always tell us that like, oh wow, you're really brave parents, you're really strong, but actually I still want to be a baby girl sometimes. And this year on Mother's Day, that's what I'll be trying to remind myself. Just, I want to be taken care of, even though I'm taking care of Asher and the family and everything.
Yeah, I guess that's the life cycle, right? And we're all
Yeah.
daughters as well as moms at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
have your parents been stepping in to help, and how do they support you?
Oh, definitely. So me and my parents, I mean, we live really close by. We basically live in the same complex, like 2 minutes walk away. So I'm really grateful that my parents, including Fred's mom and sister, they've never looked at Asher a different way ever since he was born. Like they are always really supportive. Now, like my mom and dad, they basically come over to visit Asher every day. They have fun, they play, and I think that's the part that we're really grateful about. And I guess on Mother's Day, I should, celebrate my mom too.
That's really sweet. It's nice to have parents close by.
Yeah, for sure. It just helps so much. We don't feel so alone.
Yeah, well, it takes a village, right, to raise any child, and I'm
Yeah.
glad you have your village around you. What would you say to other parents to encourage or to share with them, like any of your thoughts if they are at the beginning of a journey with a diagnosis, whether it's Angelman or something else? Like what have those thoughts been? How would you encourage them?
Just know you are not alone. Seek help, seek people in your community, seek support groups. That's what we did. And that's what really put the weight off our shoulders. They let us know what we should expect and what's going to come our way. So you will feel lonely at first. You will feel like the world is crumbling down, everything's wrong. But you just have to get out of the shell, seek help, and you have such a big, loving community to help. Yeah.
Yeah, and I also like I'm not religious, but I also feel like things happen for a reason. Asher was put into our family maybe because the universe thought we had the capability of dealing with that. So just know that as a challenge, and you're gonna keep on evolving, and you'll have people around you that supports you.
Well, that's really amazing. I mean, that you're situated in Hong Kong right now, and you were in Canada for the concerts that you were working with the Angelman Syndrome Foundation Canada, right? And Cherished Integrated Services. Like,
Yes.
so for Fred, like when you were in
Mhm.
Canada, did returning home and then with such a personal mission to spread,
Yeah.
and to reach out and to connect with other families, like did it feel very different from past performances or past visits?
Oh, definitely, because especially the concert in Vancouver, like 90% of the audience I know. It's either family members or friends. And I didn't really have official explanation for each and every one of them. So I felt like this time I'm coming back, I'm telling you this is the situation we are in, but we're fine. We're okay. We just need your love, need your support, and then we got all of that from Canada.
It
Mm.
was like the show in Vancouver was like our wedding.
Yeah.
It was literally like we had a meet and greet, and everyone was just like, "Hey, Fred, remember me from like, oh, I'm
Yeah,
oh,
yeah,
like,
yeah. Yeah, even
I
my
saw you,
elementary friends came. I
I
reconnected.
saw you as a baby, I held you as a
Yeah.
baby, that kind of stuff." It was literally like a wedding.
It was awesome. Yeah. I was so moved. I was so touched. I never expected even like some of my elementary friends came out just to come see me, and we haven't seen each other in like 30 years or something. I told them, hey, this is my friend from grade 5, grade 4. Right?
Yeah, but then in Toronto, I think it was really amazing.
Yeah.
In a very different way, completely different way. In Vancouver, it was more like family and
Family,
friends.
that's it.
But then Toronto, I think the last time I've been there was probably when I was 10.
Oh,
But they really welcomed us
Yeah.
so warmly. Like there were fans at the
You guys are
airport.
rock stars.
Yeah,
You
I
guys gave
really,
us so
really
much energy
yeah.
during the concert.
Like at the end of the show, everyone was like standing up.
Yeah.
And we had such a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
well, that's great. I mean, come back again. We
Of
can
We
course.
would
raise
love
more
to.
funds
That's it.
for the cause.
We come
Yeah.
back in summer though.
Summer?
Oh yeah.
No, no.
It
I
was
mean,
pretty cold.
Yeah, it was pretty cold last time we were here.
yeah, either build a snowman or hibernate
Yeah.
inside. Summer would
Oh,
be
and
nice.
we had the best like Wagyu fried rice in Toronto, remember? We went to like a steakhouse before we left.
Yes.
And then like it's a steakhouse, but it was like Japanese inspired. They had like Wagyu and stuff. And that's like the best Wagyu beef fried rice that I've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Even
Can you
like
imagine in
compared
Toronto?
to Japan and Hong Kong.
Wow.
Yeah, and
You have
then
to
we were
find
just
a way.
driving through Toronto. We're like, oh, this is such a big city compared to Vancouver. We
Mhm.
were like, hung out, yeah. I was like, oh, this is like a huge city.
Yeah, we enjoyed it a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah, well, I mean, come back. Toronto definitely has expanded and evolved and changed a lot in the last decade.
Mhm.
I visit
Mhm.
Vancouver a lot too. My mentor, my best friends, a lot of people that we work with are in Vancouver. I love both differently. I think
Mhm.
Vancouver has a different West Coast vibe, and it's got the beautiful mountains, and it's very
Mhm.
slow, very calm. And then in Toronto, it's like there's so much to do, and
Yeah, it's like a big city.
for sure. I mean, compared to Hong Kong, there's still a stretch to go, but Toronto definitely has stepped up its game in hospitality. So we definitely
Mm.
have to have you back. Now, did you plan to expand Angels Within Us to more cities and more formats? I wasn't even sure. Did you bring it to many cities in the States? I didn't follow the full story.
No, Canada was our first stop. We
Mhm.
did think about like bringing it to Malaysia, Singapore, or the States, but honestly, we have like a lot in our hands right now.
Mhm.
So we'll just keep it in the back of our minds, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think what you did was already incredible, and you have the support of so many people from around the world who truly, like, I think the second they see your son's face, it melts their heart. It really, he's like a little like cartoon version of the two of you put together.
He's
He is He's
hilarious.
really adorable. So I think that, yeah, you're right, Stephanie. I think you're called to something bigger, and Asher is the superpower that
Mm.
will unite so many people. And we're very proud that obviously Fred is Canadian, and that we can have this
Go
moment
Canucks,
together.
go!
Yeah, sorry, we're Canuck fans. Sorry about that.
Well, Maple Leafs over here. But we'd love to continue to support you in any way that we can at
Thank you.
Chinoise, and to have more people know about Asher's story. And whenever your family is ready to expand or do more at your own pace, I think you have a lot of fans and supporters. Actually, probably your son has his own fans now.
Oh
Three
yeah, he
three
has
type
like I
of
don't know,
fans.
like 1,000 followers or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah, just today we were at the supermarket and just people just recognized him.
Oh,
And they're like, "Oh, can we get a picture?" And then they even know that, "Oh, he's starting school soon, right?" Like, yeah,
Yeah,
he's
actually, we went to Tom Lee once, and then this salesperson came up to us. Like he was like, "Well, I didn't really recognize you guys, but I recognized your son."
So yeah, he's more famous than us now.
Yeah, he's definitely influencing people in
Yeah.
his own way. Yeah.
it's truly, truly amazing, and we're so touched by some of the things that you've done. On that note, like, if you had to share with us one last thing about, like, what's the most important lesson in terms of a family value perspective that together as a unit you've learned through Asher and this whole journey so far, which is still a new journey, what would that be? What's the most inspiring thing to you
Wow,
so far?
that's tough. I guess to me, it would be like there is nothing that you won't do for your family. I grew up in a, very family oriented family, but I really saw our whole family came together for Asher, and that united power is nothing that I've seen before. So I guess, yeah, I guess just believing in our family's core.
Yeah, I think just love will get you through everything. Just believe in the power of love, and yeah, you can solve most things with love.
That's amazing. I think that's a very beautiful message in time for Mother's Day this year for many families, well, all
Mm.
families out there. So thank you so much for your
Oh,
time.
thank
Thank
you,
you,
Deb.
Deborah.
Thank you.
Rhonda and Kayla, do you have any other questions you want to ask?
Yeah, I'm just curious to ask Fred and Stephanie for the future coming up. You have any special plans, family-wise or career-wise, that you can share with us?
Yeah, I'm working on a few songs this year. Last year, I only launched one song. So this year I'm really going all in. I have like 3 songs coming up hopefully by the end of this year. And then I'm also doing some bar tours in Hong Kong. I really love like singing with live band and being on stage. So that's something that I would like to continue with doing.
I'll be working on new music as well. I will be doing a musical later this year.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and then also having hopefully in talks of a China tour for my own solo concerts.
Amazing. And do you think you guys might consider, whether individually or together, writing a song or music inspired by Asher? And
I don't
this
know.
whole
We
thing?
never really got along in terms of like writing music together. We had tried like
Yeah, we
maybe
had
one or
tried.
two, but when we work, we just kind of prefer doing work on our own because we spend so much time together already. But maybe for Asher.
Or maybe individually. And then
Yeah.
one day it becomes a medley. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean, we look forward to seeing how, this obviously every stage of life comes with different things that help us mature. So I think that like no matter what age we are, we're still growing. And
Yeah.
obviously this is a time for you guys to grow in a very different way. And I think it actually adds so much weight and so much insight into your personal journeys as musicians, as artists, as creators. And
Of course.
I have
Yes.
total faith that you guys will,
Thank you.
activate and unlock even more potential within yourselves because of all this like love and, like you said, that core family superpower that you've unlocked. It probably will unfold into your music. So I think it's going to be incredible. It's a great question, Rhonda.
Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, we'll
Thank you
keep in
so
touch.
Thank
much.
you,
Thank
Fred.
you.
Thank you,
Bye.
Thank
Stephanie.
you.
Thank you.
We love
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye-bye.